Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
A single mother's going viral on TikTok, but guys, it's not your average story. This one's a little bit different. What we have here is a single mother of 4 with 4 kids, all birthed under 4 years. Yes, you heard that right. Now, the internet had a lot to say about this specific situation. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Hey y'all, coming to the life of a single mom with 4 children under the age of 4 years old. Yes, I have 4 children under the age of 4. So I just want to say first, thank you guys for all the people that's been sending me positivities, that's been saying positive things. I just want to say thank you guys so much. You guys really don't even understand how much I really needed that. Thank you. For the ones that sending my children things, thank you so much for that. We are beyond grateful for that. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Now, let's get into some things. To the negative Nancy's, let me address a few things. For one, I do not have multiple baby daddies. My children share the same father. I have one baby daddy. And how did we end up in this situation? Life happens. I just had my twins a month ago. They are 2 months as of today. I was not able to work my pregnancy because I didn't have the help or the support with my other 2 children so that I can work. So what happens next? Life happens, but that's okay. This is my journey. This is my testimony. This will not touch my children. My children won't even remember this. They remember how I went hard for them. Stay tuned and watch this journey.
All right, guys. So there you go. This is a sad situation, obviously. So as you can see, there's some homelessness going on here. And of course, as always, the children suffer. Now, this story blew up. And it blew up because of the mixed opinions that people had in response to this chick. On one hand, you had people who looked at the situation and wanted to help. And so obviously people clashed heads on the different opinions on this topic. This woman's asking for help. And I think it's only right I play this other video that I thought was interesting real quick to add on to what was just explained. Let's get it.
Me and my kids will be in our 4 to 5 bedroom, 2.5 house before Christmas. What's y'all dream house? How many bedrooms y'all want in y'all house? How many bedrooms and bathrooms y'all want in y'all dream house? Comment down below.
All right, so she's hoping on funds. Maybe she has like a GoFundMe in mind, or hoping for a miracle to happen so that her and her kids can end up in a 4 to 5 bedroom by the end of the year. Now, people who are short-sighted, and the only way to fix short-sightedness is to drink coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
People who are short-sighted hear that and say, well, she can raise that money. Okay, cool. But the problem is most single mothers cannot. The problem is eventually this story is no longer popular on the Coffee Pod. It's no longer popular on TikTok. The problem is, how is she going to maintain that lifestyle? And how about the majority of single mothers out here, or to-be single mothers out here, who instead should be hearing a different message? Let's check out some of these comments. Maybe a message like this top comment that said, 4 kids under 4 is insane. I'm sorry, this commenter says, but you probably should have waited till you had enough money to take care of them. Maybe even went back to school. That's a fair point. Somebody else here says, I was homeless with my son and pregnant with my daughter once upon a time. I'm now a homeowner and will be graduating with my bachelor's in December. That's not how it goes for most single mothers out here struggling like this chick is. Great motivation, highly unlikely. This is like encouraging every single person to be an entrepreneur. It's just not in everybody's books. Somebody else here says it's not even the 4 under 4 because it's actually better have them all together. It's the lack of support from the father. And then I ask, why do women continue to carry before they marry? I don't understand. You go crazy trying to figure this stuff out. You see the cycle over and over and over again. Every single chick is like, hey, let me do the same thing. Somebody else here says, people don't understand that this can easily happen to them. Yeah, some women do understand, and that's why they marry before they carry. That's why they use protection. That's why they make sure they pick a man who can actually take care of kids. That's why they find out how much it costs to raise up one kid and look at their income and make sure that they're not having kids they cannot afford. This chick goes on to say, praying for you and your family. Somebody else here says, go to a shelter. You don't have to pay rent, and eventually they will help you find housing / get back on your feet. 400 plus likes on there. Sounds like she's speaking from personal experience. Another commenter here says, what happened to dad? Question marks. Obviously, he wasn't planning to be present in those child's life. Something that maybe she should have done more research on. Another comment here says, people can be rude as F while you're down and think it's funny. So sad. People don't think this is funny. This is sad. You got this. Keep going strong for your babies. Another comment here says, I already had twins and they are more than enough for me. I don't get how people can just have babies back to back, but I hope everything works. Another comment here from another woman says, I see you do nails. Praying your clients gets a boost. Long as you keep your kids first and keep working, you're going to be in a better situation. Another person who says, try working at a daycare. You can get discounted on free childcare. And our last comment here says, wait, how you have twins a month ago, but they 2 months today? I'm tripping. Am I tripping? This woman wants to know. I think that's a pretty good question there. And so, guys, as this story began to grow in popularity, it was actually surprising to find out that more people were drinking coffee than not. More people were wondering, well, come on, man, like how many times are we going to hear this story repeating over and over again? And then you go online expecting other people to take care of your kids. And some women didn't like that response, like this chick, for example. Let's get it.
Right now, she got 4 kids that's on the floor on TikTok, right? Listen, I don't think sis came on social media for y'all to make her feel less than already what she feels. Stop asking what happened and ask how can we help. Y'all don't.
Stop asking what happened and ask how can we help. That's what she wants you to do, is ask how can you help, since it's your responsibility after all. Well, we've got a TikToker who responded. I'm actually going to put her TikTok at the top of this comment section. I've seen her on the channel before, this channel, and she explained exactly why the reaction that people are having towards the situation is very much correct. Let's check it out.
Got 4 kids that's on the floor on TikTok, right? Listen, I don't think sis came on social media for y'all to make her feel less than already what she feels. Stop asking what happened and ask how can we help.
This is not coming from a place of judgment. This is coming from a place of learned experience. I had my first child at 19 years old. My mother and my father cut me off. Not permanently, but what they wanted to do was make sure that I knew how hard it was going to be to have a baby. There was no going out on the weekends. There were no hanging out with my friends. There was none of that. I had to set my schedule based on what daycare would allow me to do. There was no fun time. I got a baby. It wasn't until my son hit about a year old that my mother and father both disclosed to me that they did that so that I would know having children was not a game. We want you to know how hard it is. There are a lot of young women out here that are having kids that get a lot of assistance,
Right.
which they need. But because they are not given the education and the preventative measures to make sure that it doesn't happen again, they end up with 4 children under 4. See, social media, especially TikTok, has made it very easy to glamorize single parent or single motherhood. Social media has made it very easy to talk about a baby by a random man in Atlanta and gain millions of followers and be able to monetize that. So now having the baby ain't that big of a deal. So in cases like this, I'm all for helping because the babies are already here. However, we need to also educate so you don't have 6 babies under 6. And that's the part that is missing. See, I'm a firm believer that we need to teach people how to fish instead of just giving them fish. In the cases where you have young single moms, I wish that I could get them to listen to the OGs like us, like me. Because what I want to do is teach you how to never be in this situation again while I am teaching you how to fish, how to make it on your own while I am giving you fish. Because you got to eat right now.
I mean, she's making a great point right there. Great point. What she's saying is, I don't mind helping, but with that help, you have to drink the coffee. You have to take accountability. But we all know, man. We all know the problem. As soon as you start talking about accountability, what they could have done to eyes are being rolled, don't judge somebody's experience. It could have been you. And there's some like this chick who had wonderful parents, it sounded like, because eventually it sounded like they did help her. And you might say, well, they did too much. But look at this woman. The wisdom, how she can properly articulate the lessons she learned from that experience. Sounds like her parents knew how to parent her. Sure, they weren't perfect, but from the sounds of it, she benefited from that experience. Let's keep listening.
But a lot of these young women don't want to hear it. They want to believe what they see on social media. The OGs are like, girl, that ain't none of my business. I'm going to stay out of it. It ain't my job to help. And then the only people that end up suffering long term is the kids. Ain't nobody worried about them kids. Everybody is worried about being all in her business. Nobody is thinking about helping her educate herself, get trained, learn a skill so she can take care of them 4 kids. Y'all are going to give her some money, send her some stuff to a P.O. box, and when the next trending topic hit, all of y'all's assistance is going to go out the door and she's going to end up right back in the same spot. So no, we don't need to help temporarily. Wow. We need to set some things in place for permanent change and for permanent help, like education, like a trade. I would love to teach her how to do hair, baby, because that's something you can do in the hotel room with your kids. But a lot of y'all ain't gonna really invest that type of energy. Y'all just like to talk for social media.
Wow. Shout out to this woman, man. And what she's saying is that woman and women like her need a paradigm shift. They need to change their mindset. If they don't change how they're thinking, the next child is on the way. Next child is on the way. Let's check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. First comment here from a woman says, nah, because I'm in the same position as her. You can't make this shit up. My kid's dad died. Okay. Well, that's not, sounds like he was taking, I spoke too soon there. If he was taking care of the kids and it's not the exact same situation, right? That's expected. And I'm about to have 4 under 4 with no help. The judgment is crazy. Well, let's talk about this, guys. How did he die? All right, was he in the streets? Or was it like, a situation where you guys were dating? Who knows? It's unfortunate he passed away, though. Let's check out another comment here. It says, that is not a flex, though. Your parents left you out to dry, and I'm sorry with the heartbreak. You deserve the help. We all do. You don't deserve shit. You don't deserve shit. If you're an adult out here making bad decisions, you should be grateful. Instead of thinking that you're so entitled to help, that the universe should just bless you because why? You don't deserve shit. And at that point in her life, should her parents have helped her? Another comment here says, I think your parents were too harsh in doing that unless you had a bad history of being very irresponsible. This new generation of parenting, is that working better? Look at the fruits. You know how you can judge whether someone is doing the right thing or not? The Bible says, look at the fruits to see someone's genuine character. And I think that can be applied not just to like spiritual things, but just to life in general. You look at someone's fruits. Look at this woman, the way she's talking. I know that there's coffee flowing through her bloodstream. They did all right. And I'm not saying every parent should not help their child out for the first year, but they knew their daughter. And from the looks of it, they made the right decision, if you ask me. Check out this next comment that reads, kids is the new marriage because nobody have a problem having kids but nervous to get married. Another woman here says, my sister needs to hear this, shaking my head. 4 kids, mercy, and complaining about how hard it is, but she kept having more kids knowing. Somebody else here says, what would people do without social media? Without being able to monetize their struggle? You know what's crazy about this too that I just realized, and I probably shouldn't say this just because it may give other people ideas, but as I was researching this story, I saw multiple accounts with her videos, copying her name, reposting it, putting their Cash App on the top because they know that people will give to this type of irresponsibility, but they won't give to a cause where women are being educated to prevent this type of a situation. Instead, those people are the enemy. Instead, people like the coffee pot are toxic. Another comment here says the OGs are the ones soaking up all the help for the young moms that truly need it. Somebody else here says, make this make sense in response to that comment. Another comment here says, ... I need the logic on this one. I think what she's trying to say is the mothers rely on their children to sort of do what maybe their husbands should have been there to help them to do. I don't know. Am I right? Another comment here says, could it have been she had support and they stopped? Somebody else responded back and says, ew, that message went right over your head. Another person here says, I think so because from my understanding, her children have the same father. Another comment here says, it's not always about what you say, it's how you say it. And the OGs come off as disrespectful and condescending. Nah. Disrespectful? Sometimes you need that type of a message. People today just have way too much pride, man. And pride comes before fall, and boy, are y'all falling. Another comment here says, too much assistance is just a lifetime crutch. Learn the lesson the hard way. I like that. Another comment here says, had my first at 17 and my parents tried to take him and threaten me with CPS all the time. Another commenter here says, people are having kids as a souvenir. And somebody else responded back and says, agree. They want kids for the cute pics and the funny videos. Another commenter here says, I had one and sat down somewhere. Somebody else added and said, same. I learned real quick. Somebody else here added, me too. And the people keep asking when I was having another with an absent father. Blaming your father again, huh? Another comment here says, right? I hated that so much. Here's another comment from another woman that says, how can we help? As if we laid down and had kid after kid. Another person here added on to that comment, which turned into a thread and said, not gonna lie, I was stunned at that question too. Another chick added on to the thread and said, exactly. We weren't there when these women laying down, taking the D. They were like, we weren't enjoying that experience. Why should we be held responsible? She goes on to say, we weren't helping y'all take the D, but we gotta help now that you had kids. Followed by another comment that says, we out here fighting for our lives too. They're having a tough time by themselves. Why not add kids on top of that, right? Another comment says, some of these single women expect so much from family, friends, and strangers, but nothing of the baby's daddy. I find that so strange. As always, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. As always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.